Man, oh man. UFC 316 just freaking concluded. And I'm here to give you my, it's an instant slash after sleep reaction. Right after this fight ended, right after the fight card ended, I literally went to sleep. I was so tired. And yeah, I recently woke up like around 30 minutes ago, and I'm here to give you my instant reaction. Um, Look, I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect Merab to actually finish Sean O'Malley on this fight. I don't know how. I mean, it really, when I was watching the fight live, it really, I was in awe because if you guys remember correctly, Sean O'Malley had one hit for this fight. He had one hit for the first fight. Sorry, he didn't have a hip. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, he didn't have a hip when he was fighting Merab on the first fight, and he did way better compared to this fight. Don't get me wrong, Sean O'Malley obviously looked better at the start of the round. So the first few rounds he looked better than the first fight, but obviously he got submitted, meaning he did worse than the first fight. At least the first fight went the distance. You know what I mean? So I was a little bit shocked, man. I really was a little bit shocked. I picked Merab to win by decision. I just didn't think he was gonna be able to finish Sean O'Malley, even though in the first fight, he did a few guillotines, a few submission attempts. But every time he did those, I think, and I think he did this because he just wanted to get Sean O'Malley down, just rack up control time. That's why he had those guillotine attempts, just to get him down. And yeah, I just didn't think he was gonna commit to those submission attempts ever. I always said, oh look, that's just to take him down. I really didn't think he was gonna be able to submit Sean O'Malley in this fight, brother. Especially what everything that Sean O'Malley has been doing. This is the most focused we've seen Sean O'Malley, and Merab just ran through him, man. He literally just ran through him with the healthy. This is 100% Sean O'Malley, guys. Can you believe what I'm saying right now? Sean O'Malley was 100% for this fight, and he couldn't beat Merab. I really thought this fight was going to be closer. I really didn't think he was going to submit him. I mean, I don't even know who beats Merab. Merab is obviously the Bantamweight GOAT, undisputedly now. Like, there's literally no conversation. If you have a friend or a family or just anybody that's trying to debate you on who's the Bantamweight GOAT, don't even entertain it, because Merab is clearly the GOAT. Tenfolds, bro. It's not even close. There's not a close second. Merab is the undisputed GOAT. I don't know who freaking loses or beats him. Corey Sandhagen is not going to beat him. Even if it does, miraculously, I feel like the UFC will give him a rematch, and he'll beat Corey Sandhagen in the second fight. Merab has a few fights under his belt, and he's already the undisputed GOAT, man. This is absolutely inspirational. He's already aiming. The only thing left, he's already aiming to be the UFC GOAT. I don't think he's going to be able to do it because of the weight class, but it's possible. It really is possible for him. He's going to have to have a lot of... He's going to have... I don't know, to be honest, I don't know what or who he needs to fight and beat for him to become the UFC GOAT, but I don't think it's possible. I don't think there's enough names in this weight division for him to become that. But at the end of the day, people are going to consider him the GOAT now. There's going to be a minority out there that's going to consider him the UFC GOAT if he does keep winning. And if he retires without losing, and doesn't have like a losing streak like most of these fighters do, most of these GOATs, people that are in the GOAT list fighters do, that they have an insane run, build an insane legacy, and then when they get older they just start losing. If he doesn't lose at the end of his career, this guy might actually have an argument. I'm not gonna lie to you, this guy actually might have an argument, which is absolutely insane to say. But yeah, man, just hats off to Merab. It sounds like I'm sad even though I picked Merab, but I'm just seriously perplexed because I didn't see this happening. I really didn't see this happening, especially the way it happened. I did not see this coming. But yeah, Merab by submission, man. Incredible. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening. Julianna Peña versus Kayla Harrison. Look, if I'm being completely honest, I'm just going to say out of the bat. Number one, I knew Killer Harrison was gonna win. This was the easiest fight. What were the odds? -600. Even the odds knew this was not like some surprise. We knew that Killer Harrison was gonna win. What I'm most freaking excited about was Killer Harrison calling out Amanda Nunes, and she did. I don't, for some reason, when she called out Amanda Nunes, I don't know if you guys saw, but the people in the octagon or outside the octagon weren't actually letting Amanda Nunes get in the octagon. I don't know what kind of miscommunication, or maybe they didn't recognize her, which I doubt, but that's a little weird. They weren't letting her in the octagon at first, but at least we got a face off. We are getting this fight next, and I'm actually excited for a WMMA fight. Can you believe that? I was genuinely excited. And if you see my live too, if you were in my live, I was actually excited too. This is actually a very, very exciting fight. I don't know. Some people out there don't actually want Killer Harrison to fight Amanda Nunes for some reason. People are already scared. But look, this is all for the fans, man. What if Killer Harrison pulls it off? I think Killer Harrison has a chance of pulling the win off against Amanda Nunes, and I cannot wait to break down that fight, brother. Jesus Christ. Moving on to Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. Brother, Kelvin Gastelum has a chin on him, man. Holy shit. This man has a freaking chin on him. Kelvin the Fridge Gastelum, brother. I'm telling you, Joe Pyfer, I think he knocked him down twice in the first round. Yeah, twice. 2 knockdowns in the first round. He just ate it. His upper body just absorbed all them shots. I can't believe it. And then he actually had a very good. He got better as the fight went on. You know, he lost badly round 1. He didn't lose that bad round 2, and then he won round 3. In my opinion, I didn't really see the scorecards for none of these fights. That's just how I saw it. But if there was I'm telling you, if this was a 5-rounder, we might have seen Kelvin Gastelum beat Joe Pyfer. But unfortunately, it wasn't for Gastelum. And yeah, Joe Pyfer for the win. Good fight. Oh my goodness gracious. It's crazy, guys. I even forgot about this fight. I'm not even kidding. I literally forgot about this fight. Patchy mixed with the worst debut in UFC history. I don't know. I haven't seen any news about Patchy Mix. I don't know if I missed anything, but I seriously thought Patchy Mix was injured when the fight was going on live. Because what the hell did I just see? Patchy Mix made Barrio Bautista look like he's Alexander Usyk. What was I looking at? And I'm like envisioning the fight right now in my brain, and I still can't believe what happened. Patchy Mix wasn't moving his head. Patchy Mix was grounded the entire time. I literally have, I think, how many takedowns does he go for? Let me see. 1. He only went for 1 takedown the entire fight. 1, boys. 1. And I hated the commentary team, bro. The commentary team, every time Patchy Mix hit Mario Bautista with a single shot, it's like they were trying to hype it up, like, oh, there you go, Patchy Mix, come on, get it going. And there was just silence for the rest of the round. And then the second round comes, he does he throws a jab against Mario Bautista, a good jab, hits him. Oh my gosh, Patchy Mix is getting it going now. But the commentating team was kind of horrible this card, I'm not gonna lie to you. But Patchy Mix was even worse. Like, I cannot believe I picked Patchy Mix by decision. And I didn't even care if Patchy Mix lost. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even care. I just picked Patchy Mix because I hate Mario Bautista. A lot of people hate Mario Bautista. But if you look, I knew there was a possibility, obviously, that Patchy Mix was gonna lose, but I didn't think he was gonna look this horrible. I seriously did not believe he was gonna look this freaking horrible. I'm starting to lose hope in other promotions. Seriously, how good? I'm just starting to lose. I'm just gonna. Oh my gosh, dude! I can't believe. You know that after this fight was over, it made me think, how good is Paul Hughes? How good is he gonna be when he comes to the UFC, or is he even gonna come to the UFC? Because he knows the competition here is way better than the PFL, than the Bellators. Like, this is not. It's not looking good for other organizations, man. Every time there's a new fighter coming in from another organization, even though he was a champion, I'm going to have to start doubting them. I'm really gonna have to start doubting the. Obviously, there's good fighters that came from other organizations, but there's not a lot of them. There's really not a lot of them, and this fight right here is gonna make me doubt every single fighter that comes, or every single champion that comes from another organization, dude. Because this was embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. Patchy made fucking Mario Bautista look like Alexander Usyk, and I'm really pissed off that, dude. Jesus Christ. Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque. I picked Kevin Holland. I don't know if I picked him TKO. I really don't remember. I know I just picked Kevin Holland. But I didn't think he was actually gonna submit Vicente Luque. Kevin Holland had some like PTSD on this fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was like talking to himself and to Vicente Luque every single round. I don't know what was happening. I don't know what he was saying. But I think he has like PTSD from like the Jackson podcast or some shit. I don't know what's happening with Kevin Holland. It was a very good fight though. I enjoyed the fight. It was entertaining. Very good submission. I didn't expect Kevin Holland to submit him though, but very good fight. We all saw this coming. There were some people picking Vicente Luque for some reason. I don't know why, but shout out to them, I guess. To the prelims, Joshua Van versus Bruno Silva. This is another fight that surprised me because I actually didn't think Joshua Van was going to be able to TKO or KO Bruno Silva. I didn't think he had the power to do that against Bruno Silva because, Bruno Silva, in my opinion, has a very good chin, very good endurance. And the way he finished Bruno Silva is very, very impressive. So he knocked him down 3 times in the first. No, not 3 times. Overall, he knocked him down 3 times. I don't know which rounds were the rounds that he knocked him down. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember. But, yeah, Joshua Van has very good boxing, man. Very, very good boxing. And he's improving. He really is improving very, very quickly, very, very fast. And I can't wait for it. But, again, it really surprised me because I didn't think he had the power to hurt Bruno Silva. You know what I mean? Moving on, though, to Azamat Murzakhanov versus Brendson Ribeiro. This fight, I picked a second round KO, or KO or TKO. It happened in the first round. I thought that Azamat was gonna accumulate damage on Brendson and finish him in the second round, but he didn't even need to accumulate shots. He quite literally just destroyed Brendson, like quite literally destroyed him. If you guys don't remember, this was supposed to be Johnny Walker fighting Azamat. And I said on my prediction video that Johnny Walker literally dodged the missile. And there you go. There you have it, dude. Because I feel like Azamat was going to do Johnny Walker even dirtier than he did Brendson, in my opinion. But very good fight. Very easy fight to call. In this fight, man. Look. This fight, when it was live, I was kind of pissed because I believed Serghei Spivak won this fight, and I gave Spivak the second round and the the second round and the third round, and I went quickly to review the fight before I did this breakdown, and I was wrong. The first round and the third round, the first round could have gone both ways. The third round was definitely Spivak, but again, the first round could have both ways, so I can't really argue against that. Live, I was kind of pissed, and I gave Spivak the second and third, but I was wrong, and I'm not mad anymore. I came into my senses, and yeah, I guess good win to Waldo Cortes Acosta. The man's Dominican. And I'm Dominican, so I technically betrayed my country by not picking Waldo Cortes Acosta. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with my country for his future fights. Moving on to Khaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson. This is another fight that surprised me because of the experience that Khaos Williams has. I did not think Andreas Gustafsson was going to be able to hold him against the cage, Shavkat style, and just slice elbows, just smother him for 3 rounds straight. When I say he did that for 3 rounds straight, I'm talking, he literally smothered him. Shafkat, like even better than Shafkat, just sliced elbows on his face for 3 rounds straight. Khaos Williams didn't have a single answer. Like, that's literally all that happened. I literally can't even say anything because Khaos Williams had 0 answers and did nothing but just stay against the cage and let him slice elbows on his face. I really truly didn't believe he was going to do this to Khaos Williams because of the experience. I picked Khaos Williams and I was wrong. Andreas Gustafsson, he actually got a lot of haters because when he won, a lot of people were mad the way he did it. You know, he just grabbed him against the cage. Even though he did a lot of damaging shots with them slicing elbows and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure he gained more haters than he gained fans on this fight. I wasn't really mad at it. I was just like, how do I say this? I was like, what are you? I was just saying, like, what are you doing, Khaos Williams? You know, I was just like, what are you doing? Because he has so much experience in letting this guy that has 1 fight in the Contender Series beat you this way is kind of embarrassing. But whatever. Moving on to the Silva versus Wang Cong. This fight is not this fight, but like the announcers kept calling her Wang Tong. And when Joe Rogan, or was it DC? I don't know if it was Joe Rogan or DC, when Wang Cong won, the translator also called her Wang Tong, and Wang Cong, which that's her name right here, said reply to it. She didn't correct nothing or anything. I don't know why they kept calling her Wang Tong. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it or not, but I'm still confused because there's no answers yet. I'm gonna have to do some research on why these commentators were calling her Wang Tong the entire fight. I was so confused. Who the hell is Wang Tong, bro? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And maybe that's the way you pronounce it, and everyone's confused because I saw a lot of confusion on Twitter. But yeah, good fight for Wang Cong. In my prediction video, I literally just said whoever looks more menacing is gonna win the fight, and I just went with Wang Cong. Obviously, I know who Wang Cong and De Silva is. I just, I joked around and I just picked Wang Cong because she looks more menacing. Moving on to Jacka versus Ju Sang Yo. Oh my goodness gracious, brother. This guy, Ju Sang Yo, has fucking over. I'll tell you that right now. When I was actually doing my prediction video, all I said was, let me go to Jacka's. I'm going to show you this. And I went to Jacka's resume. And I just hovered on top of the Jubilee ground and pound TKO that he lost. He lost by ground and pound to Jubilee. And that's all I said. So essentially, I went with Ju Sang Yo. I actually picked him by decision. I should now in hindsight, obviously he lost to Jubilee. So I probably should have put first round KO in my opinion. I probably should have went like that. But that KO was scary. Very, very scary KO. He literally face planted face first. That was worse than the Gagey face plant. Because at least Gagey landed like at the top of his head and then slid to be, face planted. But Jacka literally landed face planted first. Insane. And after they turned him around, he was still like, he wasn't even responding. His body was just dead on the ground. Very, very scary KO. And Ju Sang Yo didn't even load up on, was it a left hand counter or right hand counter, one of those two, but he didn't even load up. I just remember he didn't even load up, which is absolutely insane, but I think it was a left hook now that I remember. He didn't even load up on that left hook, man. Very, very impressive KO, man. Oh man, this fight was absolutely impressive. I called it exactly what was going in my prediction video. I said that Quillan Salkir was going to have a very competitive fight against Ashmush, and that's what happened. Very competitive fight, but we saw what Salkir has on his bag, and we know that Salkir is very, very complete as a fighter. He has everything. He has the boxing, he has the striking, he has everything. He has the grappling, the wrestling. Very, very good fighter. He was having some trouble on the getting Ashmush's back, but the only reason he was having trouble is because Ashmush's back or upper body is so weird. Like, he doesn't really have that much upper body. Like, he really doesn't. So when Salkid was trying to like get the hooks in with his legs, to lock it in to get his back. It was very, very hard for him to do that because of Ashmu's upper body. But he had a very, very competitive fight, and I called it how it was. Salkid was gonna get taken down, and he didn't get taken down. But I actually did. I was surprised live that Salkid was the one taking and controlling Ashmush down. I thought it was gonna be I thought it was gonna be both of them, but only Salkid did it. Salkid has very, very good takedown defense, and man, this guy's gonna be a problem. I'm telling you right now, Salkid is gonna be a problem. You heard it here first. 2025, okay? In a few years, when he's top 5 in the rankings list, I can go back to this video and I said, look, man, I called it. Moving on to the last fight and the first fight of the night. Marco Maderos versus Mark Choinski. This was the easiest fight to call on this card, in my opinion. I picked Marco Maderos by decision, and that's exactly what happened. He absolutely destroyed Mark Choinski's leg. I thought he should have. I can't believe it won decision because Marco Maderos has Mark Choinski's leg just destroyed. Like, seriously, it was absolutely destroyed. That I thought Mark Choinski's corner was actually just going to call off the fight on the stool because how bad it looked, man. But, you know, Mark Choinski dogged it out. And, yeah, he got a decision loss. At least it wasn't like he quit type of thing, because that's bad for your career. Every UFC fighter should know that. But, yeah, Marco Maderos by decision. And that's going to be it for UFC 316. This card actually over-delivered, in my opinion. A lot of people were shitting on this card, and I said it from the start of the event, even on my live too. I think this fight card is going to be better than people make it out to seem. I said it from the start of the live. I think I have a very good feeling about this card. And there it is, man. I think this card over-delivered. I'm going to give it like a 7.5. You know, it was a very good card. Very surprising outcomes. Submissions. Very surprising submissions. Very, very good card. I cannot wait for UFC 317, where Charles Oliveira is going to get knocked the hell out. But with that being said, make sure you guys leave a like. Hit that sub button so you guys don't miss any more videos or lives. And with that being said, I'll see everyone very, very soon. Goodbye.